Hello everyone, welcome back to the Ozarks Storm Central Weather Forecasting YouTube channel where we look at the United States weather but really focus in on portions of Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas in the Ozarks Plateau region. Now in today's forecast we are going to be looking at a possible Thanksgiving storm that's going to move from the west coast to the east coast, impacting a lot of areas. But what does this mean for the Ozarks region? We'll be looking at that in this forecast. So starting off, we're going to look at the GFS model, and what we're going to notice here is some moisture back off to the west. Now, time and date will be in the upper right-hand corner, so you can follow along as I go through this. So this is by around noon tomorrow. We see a lot of moisture making its way into California, into Oregon as well. This will start to move eastward, and we start to see this move into portions of Utah, Colorado, and even Nevada, where we do see some very heavy snow ongoing through tomorrow. Now, we're going to see a surface low develop, and we're also going to see this area of moisture up to the north combined with some moisture off to the Gulf here and kind of start a system to the east of us as well. So we're going to kind of be sandwiched, I guess you could say, in between two areas of energy. So we have this one over here to the west, this one off to the east. What we're going to see is this storm off to the east is really going to strengthen, and it's going to start to move eastward again, and we're going to start to see a nice low air pressure system develop. Now, this storm back here wants to combine with this area of energy over here, so what it's going to do is it's going to drop south and eventually try to combine with the southern portion of the system here as this is moving northeast. We're going to keep moving that on. You can see that could start some showers into portions of Arkansas. We're talking Fayetteville, even Bentonville, upwards through Harrison and Branson. Right around the early morning hours of Thanksgiving, we're talking 6 a.m., and those showers could even linger into around lunchtime on Thanksgiving into portions of Jasper, Arkansas, down through Little Rock. And you see that area of energy really combines with this low that we had back to the east, creating a lot of weather for portions of the southeast. We could see even some potential severe weather for portions of Alabama down there. Now, as we keep progressing this, what we're going to see is possibly another system that we're going to be watching out for within the next few days. Some models actually show this moving through portions of Missouri, so we'll be focusing on that one very, very closely in the near future. Now, to kind of zoom this in for you guys, this is what the radar looked like around very early morning on Thanksgiving. Now, what we see here is, once again, some showers breaking out into Taney County, moving down through portions of Harrison. We even see portions north of Fort Smith getting in on some showers there. That really, though, shouldn't cause too much of impacts throughout Thanksgiving. Once again, we see maybe through around noon, we see some showers still ongoing into Jasper, Arkansas, and southward, but really not much to write home about in terms of weather for Thanksgiving. Now, what you will notice, though, is our polar air really starting to dig down into portions of southwestern Missouri, into northern Oklahoma, Kansas, and even northern Arkansas. I want to go ahead and show you this briefly here. So, once again, we're going to take a look at the North American view of this, and we're going to really dive into the southwestern Missouri region. So, just so you guys understand where this cold air is coming from, this is Alaska all the way up here. We see Canada. This is western portions of Canada. We see a lot of cold air present from Alaska down to even portions of North Dakota. We have some warm air in place for portions of the deep south. This cold air is going to transfer down to the south and keep moving southward, and that's going to replace that warm air that we have down there. So moving that on, and with that understanding of what's going on, all this cold air is dropping south. We see by around lunchtime on the 28th, we start to see some colder than average temperatures move through with a cold front, really starting to make it more seasonal-like for a lot of these areas. Not necessarily frigid temperatures just yet, but we should see highs within the 40s for a lot of these areas. I'm going to go ahead and show you this. I want to go ahead and go to the 2-meter temperature shaded. You can see throughout Thanksgiving, really we're talking high 30s, low 40s throughout most of the day. And right around dinner time on Thanksgiving, we could see some areas into Springfield and Springfield and Bolivar getting to around near or below freezing, with a lot of the areas right hovering just above freezing. And then through the overnight hours, it should get pretty cold for your Black Friday. We're seeing lows into the 20s through the overnight hours, and as you wake up on Black Friday, it's going to be 25 degrees outside, pretty chilly. And so that's something that we really have to watch out for. Now, to kind of show you some other comparisons to what could happen on Thanksgiving, just because this system hasn't moved onshore yet, so we don't necessarily know 100% of what's going to happen with this system. Really, a good rule of thumb is you have to wait till the system moves onshore, which in this case would be California. Then you can sample the upper airs, and you have a lot better idea of what's going to happen. But until that happens, we really just have to compare models. And so now we're looking at the Canadian model, and what we see here is through around midnight on Thanksgiving, we do see some showers breaking out into portions of southwestern Missouri. We're talking Joplin possibly getting in on that, portions of Wichita as well getting in on maybe some brief snow showers as this polar air is moving in a little bit quicker than anticipated. And then what the Canadian does that the GFS does not do is it brings some actually relatively moderate showers into portions of Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Kansas right around the early morning hours on Thanksgiving. It does show, however, most of this moving out by around lunchtime. We see with the exclusion of portions of Arkansas here, really for most of the Ozarks, a lot of these showers have moved out of the area except for the southeastern portions. Then eventually by dinner time, this should all be out of the way. But with that being said, precipitation throughout the day will cause some wet roads. Obviously, you have to drive with precautions throughout Thanksgiving, especially. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Now, as we compare this to the Icon as well, this will be our last model that we go over in this forecast. What we see here is this is right around midnight on your Turkey Day. So we see a little bit of precipitation off to the west, but the Icon model doesn't necessarily show too much. Once again, though, it does show that system developing off to our east, kind of sandwiching us in between these two systems here. Now, as we keep progressing the model, you'll see the Icon really takes this system, or this little bit of energy that was left off to the west, pretty far south, even missing portions of Little Rock, Arkansas, really not having much energy to really transfer to this 1006 millibar low that we see off into portions of Tennessee. That would allow for a pretty nice day for most of the areas into southwestern Missouri. Still, though, once again, we are going to be talking about some chilly temperatures. We're talking not really getting out of the lower 40s, and most likely all these areas staying within the 30s for a lot of the day. It will be a cold one, but the big question is, will we be seeing any precipitation, and what form will that fall in? Personally, I think we're going to be seeing maybe some brief showers throughout a lot of the Ozarks, but really until this system makes landfall, we won't really know what's going to happen for your Turkey Day. Thank you guys so much for watching this Ozark Storm Central forecast. I hope you guys do enjoy, and I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day.